Hey everyone, today I'm going to do a review of the 2022 My PA Planner. Now before this channel, I had never heard of this planner before and it is extensive. It is really cool and it's unlike any other planner I've ever seen before. Now My PA stands for what I understand to be personal assistant, and this is a business planner. Now I have never reviewed a business planner before. I have talked about fitness planners or budget planners or, really anything that they might sell on the shelves of Michael's, but I have never seen a planner for someone who is running their own business as intricate and detailed as this one. So in typical planner reviews, I show you every single page of the planner, and this one, I mean, look at it. It's got so much in here that I'm going to do my best to show you most of it and give you the general idea, but I can't wait to do this review and show you the insides of this. The first thing I'll say is with the holidays coming up, I think this could be a great gift item if there is someone in your life that either started their own business or they're thinking about starting their own business. Now, this might even be better for someone who doesn't have a business yet because it has lots of questions, lots of reflection in here for goals, progress, something that someone who's about to start something new may want to take a look at. So when you open it up, it's not enormous. I mean, I think it's probably a little smaller than an 8x10. It is pretty thick and it runs for the entire year. So sometimes planners are only 6-month planners, but this one is 12, and it does have a rubber band on the outside to keep everything shut. The inside is also really pretty because it's got this like gold foil paper on the inside with a nice star pattern. All right, so you open it up and you see this planner belongs to, so it's got your basic, information, and it's got that little thing at the bottom, the reward for returning, which is in a couple other planners I've seen, including Moleskine, and it's got a welcome here. So the welcome just basically talks about, being a business owner, running your business, trying to be as productive and efficient as possible. So that's a good read to sort of start the planner to see what the intentions and the focus are. And then you get a little quote here: to accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe. So there are some, not just tidbits in terms of instructions, but also some quotes throughout the planner. And then when you turn the page, you've got what the PA planner will help you do. So your 2022 planner will help you achieve your goals, manage your time, become more productive, be inspired, balance work and life. So there are a couple of goals on that main page. And then it tells you how you're going to use this planner. So how to get the most out of your planner. It talks about beginning by reviewing this past year, 2021, and then thinking about your life and your business plan, setting those monthly goals, setting those weekly goals, daily goals, and then you reflect, review, and improve. So the beginning of this planner is a lot of planning in terms of your business, your big picture goals, and not so much your day-to-day tasks, activities, to-do list, like running errands. That's not the beginning of this. You could add that onto the weekly, but for the beginning, let's talk about what that looks like. So the beginning, 2021, 2022, out with the old, in with the new. It allows you on that first page, 2021 review, to ask yourself some questions. Did you achieve your goals and financial targets? Your biggest achievements and what you didn't achieve? Which business tasks were unproductive? And a couple of other questions about your business from 2021. Now, 2022 has targets. List 50 things you want to achieve in the next 10 years. I guess for some people who are business owners, you might have an idea of that. Maybe if this is a general planner, I would say that 50 seems like a lot, but I don't know. I don't have my own business that is, like my own full-time job where I'm making projections for the next decade. And for me, writing 50 things down is way too overwhelming. However, that might work for some people. So there is space here. The list of 50 most important things that you want to accomplish or have in the next 10 years. So this is not a list of the things you think you can achieve, but the things you want to achieve. So I think that's interesting that they're asking the difference there. So you've got your review of 2021, you've got your targets of 2022. Then you've got your life. It's a spread. Your life, how are you planning to live your life this year? What do you love to do? What are you good at? Which tasks do you dislike? What days will you work? What hours will you work? How will you relax? Which good habits will you begin the year with? Just 18 questions that will really outline your goals and your hopes for your life. And I think what's good about this page is that it asks you questions about your personal life as well as your work life. So, it's asking, what do you love to do? What hours will you work? What will be your desired income for this year? But it also asks you, what holidays would you like to take? Where are you going to work? Are you planning on going any trips or visits? So it's nice that this sort of allows you time to say, what do I want to do this year? How do I want to lay out the year? And what are my goals and intentions? And lastly, on this part, you've got the 2022 bucket list. So if you're planning only to make money and nothing else, you'll be broke. That's a quote on that page. And I really like that. Just a reminder that work is not your entire life. I think that's important. So then we move on to the 2022 business plan. There's a page to go over what is your why. I think that's an important question to ask. Your vision, an opportunity to visualize, and then it asks your big mission in your business this year, your big goals, and bringing your brand and business to life. So lots of questions and reflections about your business. I feel like this could be good for if you're at the start of your business, but also maybe if you're a couple of years in and you're trying to reflect on things that you can do, change, ways to improve. These are some really good questions to ask yourself. You know, there are questions like, what are the core values in your business? Who are you going to employ? And if so, who, what qualifications, experiences, how many people, how are you going to produce your product or service? So many questions that are important to think about if you own your own business. There are also pages for how your products will be delivered, costs that are involved in producing your product, your pricing structure, your revenue, a lot of information about that. And, you know, even questions about your competition. You've got the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats chart, which I've seen in different classes I've taken and you can use in different areas of your life. So that's a chart that you could use to reflect and just answering some questions about yourself and your business. Now, the next page is your 2022 marketing plan. So a lot of information here. Everyone is not your customer. That's a good quote to remind yourself. So asking questions about your target audience, your customer, how will you sell your products or services? You've got a section for email marketing, webinars, advertising, social media. I mean, this is almost half of a planner. I'm about to get to the planner section, and also half of a workbook. That's exactly how I would describe this. It's half workbook, half planner for a business owner. So we're in the workbook section right now, which, I mean, I'm still going through, but you can see, like, I mean, there's probably, I mean, I bet I'm 30 pages in right here of all of the workbook, and I'm not even all the way through. So we're in the social media section. They're asking about content, blogging, video marketing, podcasting, your PR plan, contests that you may want to run, and you've got the 2022 project planner. So brainstorm lists all the projects you need to undertake. For example, create email campaigns, build website, create webinars, weekly videos, etc. And you can prioritize them by number. So that's really helpful. Then you've got a space for your 2022 connections. Who do you want to connect with in 2022 and why? There are a lot of lines here. So I think that it's important to think about not just who you want to connect with, but making sure that you are connecting intentionally, because I think that there are wrong reasons to connect with people in both your personal and your professional life. So it's important to just make sure that you aren't, in my opinion, reaching out for the sake of reaching out, and you're using your time wisely. So there's that. And then we're moving on to this next section, the numbers. So this is your finance plan. What I'd be really curious to ask business owners about is if this is something that you would want to use a paper planner for, or if this is something that you would prefer to use Google Sheets and Excel sheet for, because you're really crunching numbers here. You've got your survival budget, your 2022 profit and loss forecast, your balance sheet. Like, I feel like this might be better done online or on a computer, but I'd love to hear from a business owner how you manage your budget. So that's really interesting. And then we get into the planner. Like I said, that is a lot of workbook questions here, which is great. You know, definitely some good questions to ask yourself. And then we're into the planner. So I'm on January. This, again, similar to the Moleskine planner, starts on a Monday and it goes through to a Sunday. And it takes the whole spread for the month, which I really like. So you get the month, and then on the right side, you get the notes. And then on the bottom, it says positive habits. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. From Aristotle. So you've got a habit tracker at the bottom. There's space for 7 habits, and then you get 1 through 31, so you can check off whether you're doing those habits or not throughout the month. So it's a pretty simple January spread, but I like that because there's plenty of space to write on there. When I turn the next page, there is a space for January goals and actions, your main focus this month, and so you've got your space for the goals. And then on the right side, there is a place for your January project planner. So you put a title for each project and list everything you need to do under that title. Prioritize each task and action and write approximately how long it will take, and then write out who is going to do that actual item. You're going to do it, you're going to delegate it to someone, you're going to outsource it, or you're going to automate. So it's a good way to sort of decide how things will get done and when, all of that. So you've got that January project planner. You've got on the next page a full spread for social media content planner, and then you've got your weekly layout. So you've got on the left side a quote, regular action, so it looks like a to-do list, and then another to-do list for goals, projects, actions, appointments and calls. Then the next column has to watch, read, notes, and ideas. And then you've got your daily columns. So there's space for your top 3 goals or priorities, followed by your daily hourly schedule from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And there's space down at the bottom for glasses of water, number of minutes of meditation, and exercise. So I like that there's a little reminder to do that. I don't know if I like the exercise box because sometimes you're like, I would rather write like what exercise I did rather than just check off the box, but I suppose that is dependent upon the person who's using the planner. And then we've got Monday through Friday for the full column. Saturday and Sunday do have AM and PM, but they don't have that hourly breakdown, which might be okay for you. Then the top of the right side, you have notes to buy and expenses, and that is the layout for your weekly. Now, before you turn the page and get to your next weekly, you've got weekly review. So you've got review, reflect, and improve. So how many sales did you make? How many new email subscribers, goals you achieved, what worked, what didn't, your gratitude journal. There's a space for a mind map, brainstorming, doodling, scribbling. And then when you turn the page, you get to your next weekly. So the weekly has a lot. You've got the weekly layout, and then when you get to the end of the week, you've got that weekly review. Now, as you continue through the rest of January, I'm going to flip through to the end. You've got not just that weekly review, but you'll have a monthly review at the end. So when you get to the end of January, I'm flipping, got there. You've got the January profit and loss statement, the January cash flow, and then you turn the page and you get to February. So there's not a ton of reflection at the end of that month. It's got, like I said, the profit and loss statement with operating expenses, total expenses. You've got your cash flow, but it seems like more of the reflection is done on that weekly level of like what's working, what's not. I was about to say, so there you have it. Pretty straightforward, right? I mean, I don't know if I would consider that straightforward. It's a really, really nice planner. If for nothing else, if you're a business owner and you're like, I don't think I would use all that, if for nothing else, then to do some of the workbook stuff at the beginning of the year and to ask yourself those questions, even if you don't have answers for all of them, to ask yourself the questions. Sometimes it's nice to have something in the back of your mind that you're thinking about while you're working. So I think that this is awesome. I think that there is a ton of space in here. It is very detailed. Now I'm flipping through this. This is a planner that may not work for everybody because it has so much in it. But one thing that's great about planners like this are you can choose what you're going to use. You don't have to use every single page. You don't have to reflect every single week. You could take one of these weekly reflections and say, you know what? I'm not doing this every single week. It's too tedious. It feels too overwhelming for me. Instead, I would rather do this at the end of the month and make it a monthly thing. Nobody is making these rules for you, and not just with the My PA planner, with any planner, you can get it and find out what works for you. So I'm flipping through to the very end, and there is not much more back here. You do get a little space here at the back for your review 2022. You've got some space for contacts, and then the back there are a few notes pages. There is a grid notes page, there is a line notes page, and then a blank note page, and that's pretty much it. So again, it feels funny to say, and that's pretty much it when there is a planner that has so much in it. But I think that this is a really good planner. I think it's got a lot of really good information, and I highly recommend this to anybody who is starting their own business, thinking about it, or, you know, if you're interested, just take a look. This PA planner is available for free online if you just want to download the PDF and you don't want the actual book. So if you're thinking to yourself, I just watched this review, that is an intense planner, I don't know if I want it, but I do kind of like want to look through and maybe read some of those reflection questions, you can go to the mypaplanner.com site and see the PDF. You can download the PDF yourself. So I would definitely check that out if you are thinking about getting this planner, but you're not 100% sure. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I know that this is a different type of planner than I normally review, but I really like it, and it was cool to see something a little different than a daily, weekly, monthly. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, because I know that I went through some of the beginning workbook stuff a little bit quickly, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.